Hi, I'm Abigail, and welcome to The Other Side. What does it take to be an accomplished woman? Some say it's beauty with brains, while some say it's focusing on the family. But is there a really set template for a woman to follow? What if she wants to carve her own journey off a beaten road? Today we have Dr. Arthy Saravanan, who's going to share her incredible story with us. Dr. Arthy is an MD in radiology. She's a mom to two, a loving wife. She's a Zumba instructor, assistant professor at Dell Medical Center, and she's also won Mrs. India International in the year 2014. I don't know how she does it all, but it's worth hearing her story. And wait till the end where she is going to share some important information on breast cancer awareness. So let's hear her story. So Aarti, you wear many hats. You're a high achiever with so many accolades behind you. What has brought you thus far?
I think the most important thing that has brought me this far is me just pursuing my passions and dreams. Ever since I was little, I always wanted to be a doctor. I was always interested in medicine and how the human body worked and learning about biology. And that's kind of what I pursued into high school and college. And as I kind of got more interested in figuring out how the human body worked, I wanted to make that a career choice. And that's kind of what brought me to medicine. And I'm doing that now as a physician, being able to help women and just identifying different women's imaging issues really brings me a lot of satisfaction. So I think the accolades and achievements just come with pursuing your own passions and dreams, and that comes with any interest that you have as well. For me, it's been dance and athletics and just focusing on running and things that I enjoy. So I try not to go for the titles, but I just kind of go for what brings happiness in my life.
So somewhere along the way, you became Mrs. India International. Walk us through that journey. What made you sign up?
Yeah, that is an interesting story. So what brought me to Mrs. India was actually just an accidental type of discovery. So my friend and I, we were talking about how life changes after marriage and especially after having a child. And we were just discussing that the focus shifts more towards the family and towards the children than yourself. And so she was telling me about this contest or competition that kind of celebrates your accomplishments and what you've done for the community. And so she submitted my resume for this contest, and she didn't tell me that it was a beauty pageant. At the time, for me, being in medicine, I was just very more interested, or I guess spent most of my time just reading and in books and in the library, and otherwise I would just take a break and go for a run or something. But I didn't have any particular interest in fashion or beauty or anything like that. So after a couple weeks, I got this phone call requesting a ramp walk video and portfolio pictures, and I had no idea what that really meant. So I had to do a lot of research to figure out what exactly they were asking for. And with a lot of help from friends and family, I put together this video and got some pictures together and sent them. And again, a couple of weeks later, with a bunch of Skype interviews and phone calls and things like that, they invited me as a finalist for Mrs. India. Now, this Mrs. India pageant was very different from the other pageants that I had seen growing up on TV. We had this 5-judge panel that they would ask us specific questions about how we were involved in the community, what kind of volunteer services we were doing, and how much essentially you were giving back, and what kind of career accomplishments you had at that point. So I felt like it was a very good reflection of, one particular type of success, at least for women who are married. Because they did ask about, how do you balance family and work and things like that. So I think that really was eye-opening, because it allowed me to see a different perspective of the beauty pageant world. So, that was a very interesting journey, and when I won that title, it definitely brought up my self-esteem a little bit, because I never pictured myself as that kind of a person who would be a beauty pageant winner. And I got to meet a lot of other inspiring women during the time of the pageant, and we still keep in touch. We're sister queens, so yeah. So it's been very rewarding.
Given where you are today, I'm sure the journey was not easy. What were your challenges, and how did you overcome them?
One thing is being stereotyped. So like I was explaining to you, if someone says typically that you're a pageant winner, there's a stereotype behind that, and people essentially just kind of link it to just superficial beauty and not looking at kind of the other accomplishments or other things that the person may have done. Currently I try not to advertise that I'm a pageant winner, just because in my current profession as a physician, I want to show people more of the kind of academic and knowledgeable side rather than just kind of a beauty pageant winner side. So that's definitely a stereotype, and it's a challenge, because I do like to celebrate that other side of myself as well. But I try to focus it more towards the other things that I've done to accomplish that. As a woman, you do have your own struggles in society. Not only are you balancing your family and your children and trying to do the roles that a mother would be expected to do, but you also have your career aspirations that you want to pursue, and nothing should stop you from doing that as well. So those are definitely challenges that are more specific to women. And they always say that there's a glass ceiling that women can shatter in the workplace. For me, I see that there's really no glass ceiling at all. It's just something that was made up, and if you have dreams and aspirations, you should be able to pursue them no matter what setting or atmosphere or environment you're in.
We've heard this common phrase, behind every successful man there is a woman. I want to ask you, Arthy, what is behind a successful woman?
Definitely behind every successful woman there is a man, and in fact her entire family. So that holds for me as well. Behind my successes and accomplishments, my husband has been my pillar throughout all of this. And now my children, they're now 7 and 4, and they are very happy and celebrate kind of every little thing, whether it be at an award ceremony or wearing my crown in the house. It's something that they really like to look back and say, hey, that's my mom. So that makes me happy to see that. My husband has kind of been with me obviously throughout. Now we've been together about 15 years, and during my entire medical training, all of the sleepless nights that I had at work, he had those sleepless nights at home taking care of the kids. So it definitely did kind of bring down a lot of barriers and stereotypes in that sense. Without him and without the support of our families, both of our parents were there helping to raise our kids as well. I don't think we would be able to, see ourselves in this point now in life without those. So definitely a strong support system for, I think, any successful person, not just a woman.
Being a mom, I find myself juggling between my passions and responsibilities. How do you manage family, profession, and all your varied interests?
It definitely comes with a lot of balancing, right? So, typically people say that women are good at multitasking. And yes, multitasking is a good thing, but it has to be kind of focused quality time in each thing that you devote yourself to. So whether you're at work and, seeing patients, for me, I try to focus on that when I'm in that situation. Where when I'm instructing my Zumba class, I focus on the energy that my students bring me, and focus on just having a good time and staying fit and having fun. It's the same thing when it comes to home. So when I'm at home with my kids, even though I'm not spending 8 hours a day with them, the 2 hours that I do spend with them, I try to make it as memorable as possible. So definitely comes with a lot of balancing, but you can find time for anything that you're interested in. You just have to find the right balance, and your day has to be a little bit more planned than what it probably should be. But I think with the right amount of balance and quality time in each aspect, you can find happiness and success in any interest that you have.
There are people who are struggling to pursue their passion and profession simultaneously. What advice would you like to give them?
If you have a passion, you have a profession. The profession definitely, you have to devote a lot of time to your profession. But at the same time, what will bring you happiness when you come back home? Or what kind of things interest you outside of that? I think that is a stress buster for when you are doing what you're doing professionally. For me, it's practicing medicine, which is what I love doing. And even though I don't see it as work, it does create a level of stress, because I am telling patients a lot of sensitive information and giving them a cancer diagnosis, which changes their life. Trying not to internalize that, I'll come home and try to go for a run, and that'll help kind of take things off of my mind. or I'll try to dance, and that will, release my energy that way. So, if you find things that bring you happiness or help you decrease the burden of other things, then that's something that should be things that you, spend time on. For me, it's like dance and fitness, but for other people, it could be music or drawing or art or things like that. Definitely it is possible. Again, it is just a matter of balancing and finding the right time.
I know you're extremely passionate about breast cancer awareness. What is Dr. Arthy's advice to our viewers, especially to the women who are watching today?
So breast cancer awareness is something I'm very passionate about. As you know, 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. And what I promote and what I, really believe strongly in is screening early. So mammography, you have to start at the age of 40, and you have to get a screening mammogram yearly thereafter. This really helps to detect cancers when they're small and early stage, rather than waiting for the time when they're big and become a big lump, and then they're later stage and they're harder to treat. So it's something, because I see on a daily basis, I know that it does make a difference, and I definitely highly encourage women to get their screening exams and take care of their own health. We've talked a whole bunch about profession and how to balance passion and interests, but the one other big important thing is your health. Without investing time in taking care of your body, there's really no time that you can find in doing anything else. So I definitely encourage that a lot.
I loved Arthy's story. I hope it has inspired you to pursue your passions and profession. If you like this content, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you with another video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.